Okay, good morning, guys. There is an important news in today's newspaper, Hindu, the water tribunal trap. In our last Hindu analysis, we have discussed there is a dispute arises between Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh regarding water, regarding distribution of water from Banchagor Dam on Sun River. Okay, the thing is that from the recent years, it has been proved that an ad hoc and temporary water dispute tribunal has not been able to fulfill the problem. Okay, they have not been approved an effective solution. Okay, sometimes their judgments are not abided by the state. Okay, sometimes there are political pressure, sometimes they are giving judgment has been much delayed. Okay, the thing is that once the National Water Policy 2012 has provided a permanent water dispute tribunal as a solution. Yes, right. A permanent water dispute tribunal can solve the problem. So current dispute. What happened? A permanent. In case of temporary, what happened? It does not bear such a very respected status. For some purposes, it was created. Its judgments are not accepted, and it has been dissolved again. Again, it has to be created. In this way, a much more procrastination happens at current scenario. But if a permanent legal water dispute tribunal has been created, then it will be very effective. We can continuously work through a legal machinery for the solution of water dispute problem in the country. But the thing is that why a permanent water dispute tribunal is not created? Is it the constitutional default? Is it the parliamentary default? In things that at present, when the constitution was formed, okay, even constitution assembly favored for a permanent water dispute tribunal act. Okay, but the father of Interstate Water Dispute Act 1955, Joy Sukhlal Hathi, he was an irrigation minister of Gulzarilal Nanda. He was the proponent of Interstate Water Dispute Act, and he actually provided for a ad hoc or temporary water dispute tribunal. His argument was that there is unlikely any reason, or there is unlikely any situation where the frequent water dispute will be happen in India. But he was right standing at that position at that time. But now the situation has changed. With the changing time, we have seen that frequent water dispute happens between the states, and to cope up with this situation, to fill up this situation for a speedy judgment, a permanent water dispute tribunal is only one solution. And one thing is that where this provision for ad hoc or temporary this water dispute tribunal has been taken, it is not new. It has been taken from Article Article 134 of the Government of India in 1935. This article of Government of India has provided for a temporary water dispute tribunal, okay, to resolve water dispute. Okay, and this provision from our present temporary water dispute tribunal provision has been taken from this provision. Okay. Then another thing is that another important question is that why tribunal is formed for resolving water dispute instead of including it under regular court jurisdiction of either Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, why? Because there are three reasons in this case. One is a speedy trial. It was thought that it is right also, because see, water dispute is between two states, and life of large numbers of people are related with it. Okay, on the basis of a decision, the destiny of thousands and lakhs of people will be determined in some cases. That is why if a justice has been delayed, if a judgment has been delayed, then these numerous people will be hugely affected. Okay, thinking this, for a speedy revival of the speedy solution of the problem, this water dispute tribunal has been created. Okay, then another thing is that to retain the integrity of the state. This generally happens between states or between center and states. Okay, if two states or if one state and center comes into battle in the platform of judiciary, okay, for for mutual sharing of water, then it will be one kind of harm to the integrity of the country. Okay, in front of the public, in front of international scenario, international forum, international communication, it might create a bad image. Okay, that is why thinking this provision a water the temporary or private water dispute tribunal has been created. Okay, these are the things. Then this article is related to GS2. I have already told you in my last Hindu analysis also, I told you that what might be the questions in this regard. Okay, that to what extent you can consider the temporary water dispute tribunal is effective? Do you think that a permanent water dispute tribunal is the only solution? Okay, then another topic in GS2 is the historical underpinning of Indian constitution. In this case, historical underpinning means a MCQ might come in your prelims that the present water dispute tribunal provision has been taken from the Government of India Act, Morley-Minto Reforms Act, Montague-Chelmsford Act. The answer will be what? Government of India Act. In this way it has covered the functions of government, constitutional provisions, historical underpinnings of Indian constitution. Okay. Another important news in today's Hindu is stateless and left out at sea. Stateless and left out at sea. So it is an article regarding the Rohingya in Myanmar. Okay, Rohingya is a Muslim community who are living in Myanmar, but they are not recognized by Myanmar government. Myanmar thinks that they are Bangladeshi Muslim, and that's why they came into Myanmar illegally during the colonial period of Myanmar. On the other hand, Bangladeshi government think that those Rohingyas are not Bangladeshi Muslims. Okay, in the same way, India also think that these are not Indian Muslims. Above all, those Rohingyas in Myanmar, this Muslim community in Myanmar, for the last decades have been suffering a great humanitarian problem. Okay, they are the most humanitarian sufferer in the last decade in Myanmar, because they were neither provided any facility by any government, they are neither provided citizen, they are neither provided any basic necessity by the government. They are not, they have to say above all, they have lost their identity as a human being. They have lost their statehood, they have lost their livelihood, they have lost their right to life in the world. Okay, they are the most important thing, the most vulnerable factor in this important news is that the trafficking of these people, because they are very vulnerable, they are leading a very poor economic condition. Okay, because of this poor economic condition, they have been usually trafficked. They have been trapped by the human traders, okay, who bring them to another country and make them employed in different unethical works. Okay, and one other thing is that in this way they were actually exported as a hired labor. Okay, then after they generally went out from the country. Okay, but they can never regain to their birthplace, because they are generally trapped in the at the hands of human traders. Okay, human trafficking is the most vulnerable factor to this homeless Rohingyas Muslim community in Myanmar. Okay, what is the solution? The solution is that the international community like United Nations United Nations and other human rights commission across the countries have to give close eye towards this downtrodden community. Okay, they have in this 21st century, it is we are very sad to think about those people. We are very sad to say about these Rohingyas that they are neither recognized by any state, they are not deprived of their necessities by the state, and they are leading a homeless life, they are leading a stateless life. They have lost all their hopes from life. It is the most unimaginable humanitarian degradation of humanity in the present century. The international community like United Nations should take immediate necessary steps for solving of this humanitarian crisis. Okay. Then another important thing is that the Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar, the government, the opposition National League for Democracy by Aung San Suu Kyi. It was before expected that the National League for Democracy by Aung San Suu Kyi will do something for the Rohingyas. Okay, but now it is seen that this party is also has not been able to do anything for this stateless homeless community. Okay, then it is expected that Aung San Suu Kyi as a global leader, okay, as a awardee of Nobel Prize for should take some necessary and very active steps for solving the problem of these Rohingyas Rohingyas in Myanmar. Okay, then how this article is important for our syllabus? It will generally relate syllabus 2. And the topic is effects of policies and politics of developed and developing countries on India's interests. The thing is that you see the Myanmar and Bangladesh, okay, then both are India's neighboring country, and where the Rohingyas live in Myanmar, okay, and the dispute is going on between Myanmar and Bangladesh because neither the country recognize the Rohingya as a as their own community. Okay, but what's the problem that might arise from this? Okay, that the thing is that with the global rising of Islamic State or Islamic terrorist organization, Islamic terrorist activities, the Rohingya, this Islamic terrorist activity, the Islamic terrorist organization can target this Rohingya because Rohingyas are very easily vulnerable for their target. Okay, in this way, a very great chain of terrorist activities might progress in the borders of vulnerable borders of India. Okay, that is why the solution of this problem will be dependent on the solution of the problem of Myanmar and Bangladesh. Okay, the policies and politics of Myanmar and Bangladesh to solve the problem of Rohingya Nariman will highly affect the policy and politics and phenomenon of India. Okay, in this way this article is related to GS2. Another important news is that beyond a jewel box institution, what the article says actually about the development of museum in foreign country. Okay, the writer says that about Manhattan Chitri, what a beautiful museum with excellence in art designing he has seen. Okay, what does the article compels us to think that why the museum as a why the museum as a art is still not fully developed in India. Okay, what are the reasons due to which museum and art has not been fully potentialized in comparison in terms of international standard in India? But the thing is that India has such a rich history. Okay, India bears architecture, painting, sculpture, which bears so much immense value and aesthetic, which is so much prices, and who is actually represent the status and image of the country in international forum. Okay, India is so much rich with this art, okay, whether it is in painting, whether it is in architecture, whether it is in sculpture, where India is lacking in every field, who can match the necessity of quality museum is available in India. But why India is lacking in the field of art in museum? Okay, this is the question that posed by this article. The solution is that there are different problems, there are different causes. The thing is that in India, an administrative service officer generally, an IAS officer generally directs and serves the museum. Okay, but in case of museum, besides an IAS officer, okay, a person who is a lover of art and music, art and culture is very much necessary to employ in museum. Okay, because an IAS officer is a generalist person, but to direct and to design, to make the museum to a higher level, a person with high imaginative value, a person with high depth knowledge of culture, who is very much necessary. Okay, who can materialize the real value, real purpose of a museum. Okay, this is the one of the main factors. Then another main factor is that this art is not this field is actually not institutionalized. Okay, in India, people don't know, even students don't know what is museum. Okay, some days ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his speech, Mann Ki Batein. Okay, in Mann Ki Batein he says that it is very sad to think that when we build a museum in India, we have to generally find out people outside India, because in India such kind of people are lacking who can design a museum perfectly, who can plan a museum perfectly. Why we are lacking in such a person who can plan and architect a museum in terms of international standard? Why we are lacking? Okay, it is a very grave concern. Okay, then what is the solution in this case? The solution is that we have to find out the root of the solution. Okay, then right from the curriculum, a subject should be included. A subject, not only whether it is subject or whether it is topic, we can consider it a topic, but a different topic should included in curriculum regarding this field. One thing is that history and museum is not same. History is already present in curriculum. What is museum? Museum is the representation of history in a much innovative and novel form which can provide aesthetic pleasure to persons. Besides this, museum expresses cultural unity. It is the gathering places of people. It is the gathering places of the culture. Okay, it bears. That's why a museum is enrichment of culture. A museum is an enrichment of ideas of people. Because a museum is an enrichment of place where people gathers and exchanges idea. Okay. These are the main things. Okay, that's why the thing is that for a proper balance, for a proper development of this field, and institutionalization of is necessary in this field. Okay, students should be make aware about this field, what is the possibility and what is the chances, and the most important thing is the role of this field as building career in future. Role of music, role of the necessity or the importance of this field, the museum and art as a factor in building a career in future. The government should take care. Government should take necessary steps in fulfilling these gaps actually. Okay. Then another thing is that some institutions, some very standard institutions that can provide education, that can initiate academic process, okay, in this regard, for designing, for architect of museum, okay, for preserving things in the most scientific way, should be established in India. Okay, these are the main important points from this article, that India is lacking in the field of museum and art, while India bears immense possibility of this field, which is great history, which is rich history, rich painting, rich architecture, and rich sculpture. And what are the causes? Because the administration of museum and art is not proper in India. Okay, the people with much artistic nature should be employed in this museum. Okay, then another thing is that a proper awareness should be spread right from the school ages among children about this field. Okay, the another thing is that some kind of standard institutions that can provide guidance in a better architect, better designing, better preservation of things in museums should be established in India. Then another question, it is generally related with GS topic GS1, society and culture. It is mainly from culture related topic. Then another thing is that here writer mentions about a festival. It is called Kala Ghora Festival in Mumbai. Kala Ghora Festival in Mumbai. Kala Ghora Festival, festival of art is held in Mumbai generally. And the question is, note down the question, that what is Kala Ghora Festival? Trace out the necessity, trace out the importance of church culture at current scenario in India. What are the administrative drawbacks in Indian museum? Okay, put forward your suggestions. Put forward your suggestions to make India with a global standard museum. to put forward to make India with global standard museum. Okay, then what are the reasons you think that India is lacking a world-class museum? Okay, what are the reasons? Another important article in today's Hindu, scientists document virgin birth of endangered showfish in Florida. The importance is that the showfish is an endangered species in Florida. Okay, the article throws light on parthenogenesis. What is parthenogenesis? Parthenogenesis is the giving birth of a baby from a female's egg without the fertilization by a male's egg. Okay, without fertilization by by egg of male, the reproduction of a baby from the egg of a female is generally called as parthenogenesis. It is related to your science and technology topic. Write a short note. What do you mean by parthenogenesis? And one another important thing is that in India there are lots of species which are generally regarded as endangered and vulnerable, who is generally reproduced through sexual way, okay, through sexual means, and in some cases where the species is in some cases most of the species are even lacking in lacking their sexual partner also, so much they were vulnerable or endangered. Okay, in this case this method parthenogenesis come into rescue. Okay, the India where a country which is full of wildlife species and where most of the species are vulnerable and endangered, here this process, this method parthenogenesis bears immense value. Okay, in this way this article is related with your topic science and technology, especially science and as well as environment also. Okay, but here another important thing is that you can also make a short note. What is showfish? SAWFISH. Okay, what is showfish? Okay, what is parthenogenesis? Narrate the role of parthenogenesis to preservation of endangered species Okay, and what is showfish? Write a short note on it. Okay, in this way it is related to GS3. Another important news, RBI cuts repo rate. They all knows. I don't think that there is so much elaboration in this article because all know what is repo rate, what is inflation. But I only request you that prelims point of view it is important, because generally prelims lots of MCQs are asked in this topic. Okay, be clarity in concept. Okay, what is repo rate, how it can control inflation. Okay, to whether it is repo rate is applicable to all banks or not. Okay, if any bank is excused, who is excused. Okay, but I don't. But repo rate is not excused, it is applicable to all these banks. Okay, but just be clarity in concept in this article. Okay, it will help in prelims. Okay, in my view till this moment these are the important news in today's Indo. Okay, we'll meet again, and till then take care. Bye bye. Okay, bye.